Hello, and thank you for joining me for my last video at Built to Change in Santa Clara with CA Technologies. I have with me today Marc Chipouras. He is the co-founder of FreshTracks, one of the programs as part of CA's Accelerator initiative. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's great to be here, Alex.
So I thought I'd ask you to briefly, before we get into more details about the program, tell us a little bit about yourself and what is FreshTracks.
Yeah, so my name is Marc Chipouras, and I've been with CA for a little over 13 years. I've been building monitoring tools specifically for highly available, stable SaaS products, building those along the lines, and realized that there was kind of a hole in the marketplace as we kind of moved into these dynamic and ephemeral containers. The existing monitoring tools weren't really solving those problems today. So it was really the idea behind FreshTracks is really to provide a open source based monitoring tool specifically to monitor dynamic containers in a Kubernetes environment, and really to help both operators and developers keep their systems stable and available. So we've been developing that for a little while now with inside the CA Accelerator, and the overall program has been just a great opportunity for us to be able to innovate inside a larger company and bring innovation to the enterprise and really test out our ideas on customers and incrementally improve the process.
So how widely used is FreshTracks now, and is it used by enterprises around the world?
Yeah, so FreshTracks really started with the program just over a year ago, and we didn't actually start building software until the fall. So we're building our MVP right now. We have 7 beta customers in a closed beta phase, and we're constantly iterating, providing better software to them. Later this summer, we'll be opening our beta to a larger customer base and showing that we can provide traction in the marketplace and really helping DevOps teams be successful.
So was the Accelerator program already in place when you came up with the idea for FreshTracks, or were you part of putting the whole program together?
No, fortunately the program was already there, and so I get to benefit from the framework and the structure that is the CA Accelerator, and really the guidelines that really help us do enterprise lean startup inside the larger organization. I actually, not only do I get the benefits of just being in the Accelerator and that framework, but I also have a community of other founders in the Accelerator program who I get to work with as peers, right? And as I start to approach problems as we do experimentation and iterative development, I can go out to them and actually see how they handle these problems in the past and kind of use that as a community to help move my startup forward.
So what was the moment when you thought, hey, I actually have a great idea. We actually have a CA Accelerator program. I'm going to apply for it and see if I can make this a going concern?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. Like, what spawns that moment of innovation where you're going to take this step towards entrepreneurship, right? And I think it gets along with all the time that you're dealing when you're engineering. You're struggling. Should I build versus I buy, and what's better for my engineering, my application in order to move forward. It came to a point where we didn't find any solutions to buy on the marketplace that really met our needs, and so the intention was to build. Well, why wouldn't I just build that as a generalized product so the entire community can benefit from that rather than just the SaaS product we were supporting?
Now, I know that from the discussions yesterday, only 1 in 10 of the incubator applicants actually get through. So you must have gone through that process and then been proud and excited that your idea was accepted and you've been given the resources to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience in order to go through that process, build the lean canvas, and present that to the Accelerator and get accepted. And so to kind of come into this new community and start to work on these new ideas, it's super exciting for me, and really it's nice to be accepted into the peers of the accelerators. Now, I know only 1 in 10 of us are actually going to be successful as building businesses, so I feel badly for the rest of the founders because we're going to be successful.
And you mentioned that you were previously an engineer with CA, and now not only are you the co-founder of FreshTracks, but you're the director of the incubation program. So you're obviously part of the team that's helping other CA Accelerator applicants to take off.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is really interesting. So being part of the incubation program, we're helping each other all learn and kind of grow our startups, but one of the goal of the Accelerator is not only just to build successful businesses, but it's also to help improve the business processes across CA. And so incrementally, as we start to bring lean startup into the rest of the organization, we're actually influencing the larger organization with new processes like how we handle open source or how we handle microtransactions. There's little things that we can lay the groundwork, which the larger CA will pick up with moving forward.
I mean, I was just thinking that the learnings from how to be a nimble startup, if they're being transferred to CA so that it itself retains that sort of startup culture. That's obviously very valuable, and it's valuable for it to be bubbling up from within rather than being imposed from without as someone else is doing it. Disrupt yourself rather than being disrupted.
Yeah, exactly. Disrupt from the inside, but like incrementally change the processes, and what we're learning is influencing the products today, both through our relationships with other people in the organization, and we're also operating very transparently with inside of CA, and so others are seeing what we're doing and kind of taking the learnings and bringing back to their products.
Have you already got an idea for another product? I'm not asking you to say what it is, but are you already thinking about other ideas?
Oh, I mean, I think that the idea of being a founder, you're constantly innovating, constantly thinking about new ideas, and it's definitely tangents we can take our existing product on in order to move forward. But what I need to do is I need to make sure that I'm testing what we are doing and making sure there is value in the marketplace so that we can provide great tools today for our customers and iterate and move them forward.
So if you were to look in the crystal ball, what do you think Fresh Tracks will look like over the next decade?
That's awesome. It's spectacular to be around in 10 years because we will be successful in meeting our customer needs and moving forward. I think it's interesting in the monitoring space, or very much more the observability space. Technologies are changing very, very rapidly, and where monitoring was maybe a static area over the last 20 years. It's changing very, very rapidly, and you're seeing a lot of competition in this space. And we're hoping that our ideas are going to be able to help to push it forward and really bring visibility by default to engineers and operators and product teams as they're moving forward, delivering software rapidly to the marketplace.
Are there any learnings that you can share from having been a founder of a startup that you never expected and that you'd like to share with other potential startup founders out there, whether they're part of CA or just in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the real core of what it means to be in a startup is really about ruthless prioritization. I have a small team, I have my own P&L, I do my own marketing, my own sales, as well as engineering, and really being able to, with that small team, being able to ruthlessly prioritize where do we need to focus, and that's not just focusing on the engineering or the technology, but it's talking about our onboarding experience, our customer support experience, or our try and buy experience, and being able to make those priorities on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, so that we can focus to get product to the market. Is really, that prioritization is core to being successful in a startup.
Do you, as part of the P&L statement, do you have to pay for access to CA Technologies, Veracode and others, or is that sort of thrown in for free, so to speak, or do you have to account for it?
Well, I get access to a number of different great resources here at CA. So Veracode would be an interesting thing that we have access to their software and we're able to share that within the organization. But I also have access to corporate marketing, so I can get advice as we're moving forward with big events for say, or I have access to corporate legal and HR. And so these are some of the benefits that comes with being a startup within a large organization, where these things where I would be working in order to set up internet or order office desks, those kind of come by default as being part of the program.
So you're going to have a nice big stand over at CA World 18 in Miami?
Yep, we'll be at CA World 18 in Miami, and I can't wait. It'll be fun not to be in Vegas this year and spend some time on the beach. Really looking forward to seeing more customers face to face, because that's where the real learning happens. So.
And will you be out of beta by then, or you don't know yet?
We will be wildly successful by then. Yeah, the intention would be definitely to be out of beta by, that's in October, so we've got plenty of time before that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll have all those customers there that you can be marketing to.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so one of the questions I always like to ask the people I'm interviewing is if you can please share some great advice that you've received in life to help you get where you are today.
I think that what's really important is not about the technologies you're building, or it's not even about the problems that you're solving. It's actually the people that you're working with and how you're working with those people in order to help make them successful. So if you can take away the blocks and allow people to really become who they really want to be, that's when real success happens. So focusing on the people, not the product, is really what I'm trying to do as a founder here at Fresh Tracks.
So what's your final message, not just to ITY viewers and readers, but to your current and future customers and partners?
Yeah, monitoring in a dynamic and ephemeral space is not a solved problem yet. There's a bunch of different tools out there, and there may be some that fit your needs. We want to work with you as Fresh Tracks in order to be able to solve the problems, keeping your system stable and available so that you can iterate quickly and deploy new software and satisfy your customers.
Well, Mark, I look forward to seeing you again at CA World 2018, see how the progress has been going, and I wish you the best of success.
Alex, it'll be great to see you again as well. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you very much.